Hello, animal science students. So, as you know, we've been covering the suture unit, and today you are going to practice the two sutures that we have talked about mainly in class the last week or so, one being continuous sutures and the other being interrupted sutures. So today you are going to practice on your own patient, which is your banana. But before we get started, if you remember, continuous sutures is basically one straight line of suture that is never cut or interrupted, meaning you start by having a tie here, you continuously stitch until the end of the incision, you tie off again. So there's only 2 times it's tied. Interrupted sutures, on the other hand, you tie, make your knot, you suture, make your knot, cut, do the same thing repeatedly. Suture, make your knot, cut, and continue until you finish the incision. Interrupted sutures would be more fit for those areas that have a lot of movement. For example, on us humans, it would be like in the area of our hands, feet, ankles, anywhere there's a lot of movement. In the event that one of your sutures breaks open, you still have other ones holding it together. Whereas if you had continuous sutures in that area, say it busted open, the whole line of suture material would come out and you'd have an open wound again. So interrupted sutures are more meant for areas that have a lot of movement. In case something breaks open, you still have a closed incision. So on your patient today, which is your banana, you will make about a 1 to 2 inch incision. You'll see I already did that here on mine. And we're going to start with continuous sutures. So you all have a forceps, a suture needle, and your suture material today will be dental floss. So you can grab your suture needle with your forceps, and we will start by taking a bite on one side of the incision and coming up and pulling it through. Careful not to tear. And you'll leave about a 1 or 2 inch tail behind. And now you need to take a bite into the other side of the incision. And you may need to adjust your forceps a little bit for this. And pull it through. Again, be careful. Looks like my tail got caught. There we go. So it should look like this at this point. Now you're going to release your suture needle carefully on the table and take your long tail and wrap 1, 2, grab your tail, pull it through. And once more, 1, 2, grab the tail and pull it through. And it might be a good idea to lock your forceps when you do this so you don't have a mess like I just did. Let's try it again. 1, 2, grab the tail and pull it through. So now that we have our first beginning knot, we can continue doing our continuous sutures, meaning we won't have to make another knot until we reach the end. So you'll get your suture needle back in place, and you'll take another bite, one side of the incision, come up, and take a bite in the other side of the incision. And pull it through. You'll want to take bigger bites just in case it would tear. And you'll come back around. Start back on this side of the incision. Take a bite, come up through the incision. And you'll keep repeating until you get to the end. So as you'll see, I finished suturing. You'll have much nicer bananas that are not soft already. So at the end it got a little messy, but when you get to the end, you will just tie another knot and then your sutures are done. You have continuous line of sutures. On the other side of your banana, we will flip to interrupted sutures. So I flipped over my banana. I have a small incision made here, if you can see that. And we are going to practice interrupted sutures. And like I said, interrupted is where we basically do what we did when we started our continuous, but after you make the knot, you cut your suture material and you start the same process over. So you'll take a bite, come up through the incision, take a bite on the other side of the incision, pull it through. And I don't have a ton of suture material here, but remember, leave a tail, wrap 1, 2, grab the tail, pull it right through your 2 loops, and do it one more time. 1, 2, and then you'll grab the tail and pull it through. Whoops. 1, 2, grab the tail. Let's try this again. 1, 2, grab the tail and pull it through. There you go. So at this point, once you have your knot made, you'll use your small scissors and clip your dental floss and do the same process again until you finish your incision. So you'll take a bite, come through, take another bite on the other side, leaving a tail. And this is going to be tight for me to wrap. 1, 2, and pull the tail through. 1, 2, and pull the tail through. Again, you'll cut here and continue working until you finished your entire incision. So as you'll see, we have 2 sutures done, and I need at least another 2 to finish the incision.